We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you is Wednesday, January 7th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kyun.
Thanks for having me. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, and also Grace is with us.
Great to be here.
And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we're already at the halfway point of the week. Time really flies, and it's a reminder of how quickly things are changing. So while there are a lot of factors that play into why we feel that way, technology might have something to do with that. So AI is everywhere in our daily lives now, from work to small everyday tasks. So Kyun, when did you first really feel like things has changed because of AI?
I think many will agree with what I say, but when ChatGPT came out to the world, it really made everyone feel that AI had slowly become part of our daily lives, both in and outside of work. So just as an example, from asking it to come up with an itinerary for a trip, to making a video clip by just writing a few directions in the prompt, it seems like today people can't really function properly without AI and it's gone beyond just being a tool, but to something that is a must use in everyday life. I too personally use it regularly as well, by even using the paid account for better efficiency and accuracy. And I think AI has become embedded in our everyday lives that life will be quite hard to imagine without it right now.
What do you typically use it for?
Pretty much everything. If I have any things I want to find out, I would just immediately open my ChatGPT and ask just random questions.
You also ask personal questions?
I didn't before, but nowadays I'm actually starting to write personal questions about personal issues I'm going through, something that I can't really ask my close friends or my family members, because I guess it could be a little too personal or a little embarrassing. I would ask my ChatGPT and it'll give me really good answers, but then at the same time I'm like, oh, maybe if I thought about it more, I would have been able to come up with these answers. So I try not to be too dependent and reliant on ChatGPT, but just use it every now and then. But then I try to think of it more myself before actually asking ChatGPT.
That's a good rule of thumb. So what about you, Grace?
Yeah, I noticed that in the last couple years, people have been really getting comfortable doing their research, getting information through AI and using it just more in general, even asking all kinds of questions on ChatGPT, like Hyun mentioned. And I can remember hearing, that some do consult ChatGPT with personal problems, and I can see why. It won't judge you like a human can, and it can offer unbiased solutions for your problems, from career advice all the way to dating tips. And also for everyday tasks like banking or ordering food at restaurants, I noticed that I was exposed to more AI agents rather than human employees. And I could even ask an AI agent on my bank app to make a e-transfer for me rather than me having to do it all manually myself, which I found to be really convenient.
So it's really interesting how quickly AI has shifted from being just a tool to something people actually talk to, even about very personal issues. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen. Building on last year's momentum, AI is expected to play an even bigger role in 2026, not just in our everyday lives, but across the Korean and global economy. That's why understanding today's AI trends and what they mean for tomorrow is so important. On News Generation, we'll explore how people can prepare for rapid AI development, the advantages and concerns that come with it, and what we should remember as we enter the AI era. As we just saw in the video, AI is advancing at a rapid pace, with its impact being felt not only at an individual level, but also across the broader economy. And that seems especially true right here in Korea. So Kyun, how has AI already become quite routine and common in Korean society?
So to talk about how AI has been implemented in the broadcasting industry, specifically here at Arirang, AI news anchor named Ari has started to appear on our channel, frequently delivering news. And just for a fun fact, I almost became the male AI anchor for Arirang. His name was Rangi. But due to funding issues among AI companies involved, it didn't come to life. But when I saw the sample version of myself, my AI version, it was a little scary because
Did it look like
it looked very much like me. And like
okay.
some people actually saw the sample version, they're like, "That's you, right?" I'm like,
Oh.
"Yeah, I think so."
Before you told them that was you.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, thank God it didn't come out because I would have been everywhere in Adida. Anyway, and also in the radio department, there was a phase when AI voice was used for news segments, but it was scrapped as it was hard to control the tone of the voice to match the context of each headline. For example, AI voice sounded kind of upbeat and happy, almost happy, when they had to deliver news on North Korea, talking about its nuclear weapons program and provocations. So it didn't really match. Otherwise, AI technology is also used in editing videos and creating images used from different sources in news segments. So it's pretty much used in all places within the broadcasting industry.
So what's interesting here is that AI isn't just changing one industry, though, it's transforming how we work behind the scenes as well. So Grace, beyond broadcasting, where else are you seeing AI make a real difference these days?
Well, we are definitely seeing more AI being used for students that are utilizing AI for learning. And even in the workplace, it's already become the norm for people to write up like a first draft of a report or do their research on AI platforms. Also, I've seen AI language translation be widely used at the workplace now for contracts and more structured texts like analyses and articles. And this is becoming the norm because, obviously AI can provide an immediate translation compared to human translators, especially if time is valued over accuracy. And of course, lots of language translation apps have been developed over the years for the use by travelers who are not familiar with other languages in countries that they are visiting.
So it's clear that AI is already helping people learn, work, and even travel more easily, and that's just where we are now. So looking ahead, what kinds of AI development should we be paying attention to in 2026? How much further do you think this technology could go, Kim?
So Microsoft, a US global tech company, recently announced 7 major trends expected to drive AI innovation in 2026, forecasting that AI will move beyond being a simple tool and deliver visible and tangible changes. So let's take a look at the screen to find out more. Out of the 7 trends, the most noteworthy trend is AI as a digital coworker. It is expected to take on tasks such as data analysis, content creation, and personalization, effectively serving as a real working partner, going beyond just a tool that gives you extra assistance to your work. As AI's role grows by sharing personal, confidential, classified information, security becomes more critical. Hence, security built-in AI agents are also expected to become more widespread. But at the same time, the people who actually use them need to have a better understanding of how much information they share by giving their AI agents clear identity, limiting what information and systems it can access, managing the data it creates, and protecting it from attackers and threats in terms of security.
So the idea of AI as a collaborator rather than just a tool really stands out, especially as it begins to take on more responsibility. So Grace, where do you think this shift will have the biggest impact? Are there specific fields where AI's role could be truly transformative?
Industry insiders expect this kind of technological advancement to continue on in the medical field, which is a place that AI can make a true difference in people's livelihoods. In fact, AI diagnosis is set to be 20% more accurate than diagnosis by a human doctor, and that the scope for medical protocol will expand to include specialized diagnosis, classification, and treatment planning for all kinds of diseases. And since the medical gap among countries is significant, characterized by disparities in access, quality, funding, and outcomes, with low-income nations lagging behind high-income ones in health service coverage, physician density, life expectancy, and health R&D, the advancement of AI in these fields will close this gap, particularly in preventable deaths, unmet needs, and financial hardship from healthcare costs. Furthermore, in scientific research, AI is accelerating innovation in various fields, moving beyond just, generating reports related to biology, physics, and biological research, and now helping to actually carry out tasks and processes in these areas.
So all this really shows how AI is moving beyond efficiency and starting to influence real outcomes, from improving medical accuracy to accelerating scientific discovery. So to get an expert's take on this, we're going to talk to a professor, and that conversation will take place right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Professor Park Jung, who teaches at the Graduate School of Culture Technology at KAIST and the Korea Institute for Advanced Study. So hello, Professor. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So looking ahead to 2026, what are some key predictions you have for AI and its impact on our lives as well as industries?
Yeah, so as always, things are in flux. Changes are made, some stay, some fade away. So how accurate my magic 8-ball will be today, we'll find out next year. But here are the three that I like to mention. The first is diversity in the major AI players. So the past year, we saw DeepSeek, a relatively low-cost alternative to ChatGPT. And those types of smaller, nimbler tech will be embraced widely this year. And with Korea forging ahead with its domestic alternative called the sovereign AI, we may still be seeing a wider range of options too. The second is the resolution of some legal and ethical issues like data privacy and safety, owing to the enactment of Korea's basic AI law. So we have been hearing about ill effects of AI like mental distress on the users of the chatbots, which are absolutely serious, and this will hopefully clear up what our rights are and how much liable the industry is. The third and last is about the quality of the technology itself. So AI is playing a big role in everybody's lives now, but it's still a fact that it makes unpredictable errors and mistakes. So we still can't trust them as deeply as we would trust the best human experts or even a mature classical technology. So as a counterpoint to big promises and outlooks, there was recently a story of an AI vending machine that was supposed to plan what to sell autonomously, and so its owner could make money without doing anything, which sounded fantastic. But what ended up happening was, after some prompts from the customers, it was soon giving away PlayStations for free, selling weapons like stun guns, and losing thousands of US dollars only in a few weeks. So while we're talking about big things like AI solving math problems and designing drugs, making AI first do mundane things perfectly will remain a big focus this year.
Thank you, Professor Park, for sharing that and that interesting story as well. Now, while AI holds tremendous potential, there are concerns about its negative impacts, such as potential job displacement. What are some of the risks we might face as AI continues to evolve?
Yeah, so I'd like to point out two. So the first is the amount of resources like energy that AI is spending that actually is raising the living costs for ordinary citizens too. So data centers, the giant factories of computer chips that run the AI, last year alone spent as much electricity as the entire country of Germany produced. So all the people living there, all the great things coming out of the country took the same amount of electricity as something that still cannot run a successful vending machine. So then the question becomes, do we really have to keep going at the expense of other worthy things that could really benefit humanity? And this would be the first risk to think about. So the second is directly related to the job displacement that you mentioned. So on the face of it, AI seems to be pretty good at things it does, right? So it's leading to what we call the flattening of the level of quality of work. So we humans strive to achieve the best in the quality in the work we do, because not everybody is the same. But now more and more people seem to be content with what the AI is providing, which may be better than the worst in humans, but does not reach the best in humans. So some really good experts and professionals are losing jobs, not because AI is better than what they are, but because it's cheaper and just looks good enough. An alarming example is translation that you also mentioned. So we know that even when we translate the same sentence, the translator's knowledge and understanding of both cultures are critical for the quality of the final results. But understanding culture is something AI doesn't really do well at this point. So people losing jobs and us having to settle for lower quality work as a result is the second risk.
Thank you, Professor Park. So I'm curious, as AI becomes an integral part of our future, what steps should young people take to prepare themselves for this new era?
That's a great question. So The first thing to know is that the technology is constantly changing, right? So when you look at the ever popular list of the jobs that deserve to be replaced by AI, you can see the list changing from year to year. So don't take anything as final since very little has been settled yet. So stay flexible, try to really understand what is going on, and don't be too gullible to the hype or the flavor of the month like hyperintelligence or age, just the big words, which you can see is not really there yet if you would really just look around yourself. The second thing to note is something more alarming to people like us in, education. So when the young people use AI for assignments and exams, the nature of the problem goes far beyond just cheating. So the students who do it say they are still doing the work and AI just is helping them, so they think it's not really serious. But when we ask those students to grab a pencil and a sheet of paper and rewrite their own AI-assisted composition, most will not be able to do it. So they have tricked themselves into believing they still have the ability to think, where it's actually opposite in reality. So imagine trying to work with people who can't think. And imagine you are one of them. Would you like to work with yourself? So I'm trying to say that being able to think for yourself is becoming more valuable now because your personal development is at stake and people think it's happening automatically. So I would go the classical route. So read a book from start to finish that contains real human experience. Write a real essay that contains your own real human feelings and talk to people. Because even if AI keeps improving, it will be the humans who will be making it and be the final judge of it. So knowing humans is still paramount in navigating one's life.
All right, I guess I'll be reading a book and also journaling today. As always, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So we just heard from an expert about the AI outlook for 2026, the potential negative aspects of AI advancements, and what steps young people need to take to prepare for this new era. But let's now bring the conversation back to you, Kyun. Do you also feel a need to prepare for this new era of AI?
Oh, definitely. And many experts say that AI has started replacing intangible work that in fields like content creation, marketing, and design that are being already heavily affected. Since there are so many areas AI can replace, I personally too feel that a sense of crisis as well in what I do, which is news reporting and emceeing. But although AI can be used in the work I do, I still feel that it's still the uniqueness of human work, what I can do as an individual that is very much required, even more than that people. And it's something that people want to see more of, at least for the time being, because I think AI is great, but at the end of the day, like what Professor Park said, it's people who've actually made AI in the first place. So we should have more control and I guess complete control of AI.
I agree. And the sense of pressure also really comes through when even creative fields like content, marketing, and design are being affected. It's understandable why many people feel uneasy about what comes next. So building on that, some experts say 2026 could be a real turning point for how we define work. So do you see AI more as a threat base or as something that could also become a necessary partner?
Yeah, many expect 2026 to be a turning point where the standards for work and careers will fundamentally shift. And AI is already and will continue to replace humans, but it will also become their most essential companion. Therefore, the future will intensify the competition between people who know how to use AI and those who don't. And personally, I feel like I'm part of the latter. And I'm increasingly feeling the need to really study and understand how AI works because I haven't really invested time into utilizing the popular platforms that we have today. I usually still like doing things the analog, the more classic way. Like I still use a search engine to do all my research, and I take my time writing out reports firsthand. But now I can see why AI can be a useful tool to, save me a bunch of time and energy as long as I know how to utilize it well.
I think you shared a really important perspective, and understanding that AI can either replace or enhance our roles depending on how we engage with it. It's definitely a reminder that the future of work will require balance of technical skills and human creativity. So in light of these changes, we decided to conduct a poll on the ArtificialIntelligence News YouTube channel asking, are you doing anything to prepare for the AI era? And here's what the results showed. The 35% of respondents are focused on improving their ability to use AI, 15% are strengthening their expertise in their field, 6% are earning certifications, and surprisingly, the majority, 44%, said they're doing nothing at all. So for me personally, it was quite surprising that nearly half of the respondents, or the majority, said they're doing nothing, especially at a time when AI is already changing how we work and live. And when we talk about AI's rapid development, many people focus on the concerns, but there really are a clear advantage to it as well. So from your perspective, Kyun, what are some of the biggest benefits AI can bring to society?
Just to briefly mention 4 areas, there would be just boosting productivity and efficiency for work that needs manual thinking, increased innovation in healthcare, hyper-personalized services in entertainment and media contents, and finally, reduced working hours.
So at the same time, of course, AI advancement also comes with serious challenges that may deepen gaps in society. So Grace, what risks do you see emerging as AI becomes more widespread?
Yeah, of course, AI is projected to cause significant job disparities by primarily benefiting highly skilled workers while simultaneously displacing low-skilled routine jobs. So, for example, early career and entry-level positions are particularly exposed to AI, which could create a talent pipeline problem and impact social mobility for younger workers. And of course, like Professor Park mentioned, AI can give rise to data security risks by automating and scaling sophisticated cyber attacks and exploiting vulnerabilities within AI systems themselves.
So AI clearly has 2 sides to it. It can boost efficiency and innovation, but it can also widen inequalities and raise questions. So as we move deeper into the AI era, Grace, what do you think we should never lose sight of?
Well, there's no denying now that we are officially in the era of AI. And like I said, I've put off really befriending AI, but now I'm seeing the need to be really be able to utilize AI well and, be a part of this technological advancement.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to add real quick?
No, I completely agree with Grace. Yeah.
So as AI is no longer a distant concept, it's already shaping how we live, work, and connect. So while the technology offers incredible opportunities, it also challenges us to think carefully about how we adapt. And in the end, the future of AI isn't just about what it can do, but also how we choose to use it. And that choice will shape the kind of society we move towards. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation, but News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Kyun.
It's always a pleasure.
And also Grace.
Thanks for having me.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have the best day. We are
News Generation.